Hello, are you watching Hero Haven? Ant-Man 3 tried to do everything to make people anticipate the release of Avengers 5. It was crooked, slanted, and strained. But that's the way modern Marvel is. The Kang dynasty needs to be prepared for, based on them, and a very detailed interview with Jeff Loveness, one of the writers of the future Avengers, has surfaced online. Quite suddenly in it, he revealed part of the Avengers cast in the film, and also confirmed that there won't be some of the Kang dynasty crew that everyone has been waiting for. Anyway, make yourselves comfortable. We're going to retell the whole thing now, traditionally starting with the bad stuff. According to Jeff Loveness, there won't be a Fantastic Four in the Avengers 5. That sounds rather odd, because the movie is coming out on February 14th, 2025, right before Kang Dynasty. At one time, Black Panther came out about the same window before Double Infinity. In Avengers 3, as we recall, it was the same with Captain Marvel. It was released before the finale. In Avengers 4, Carol Danvers also played a crucial role. All logic kind of hinted that the Fantastic Four was also being introduced into the film universe with an eye toward the Avengers. However, according to the screenwriter, this is not the case. From what Jeff Loveness said, it seems that he has no idea at all what Kevin Feige plans to do with the Four. Quite literally, Jeff said that he only knows about the very fact of having a script for this movie. But there's a different atmosphere there. And as long as there's no connection to the movie universe, the Fantastic Four won't have one. Honestly, it even feels kind of devastating after news like this. In preparation for Infinity War, the Russo brothers worked with Taika Waititi and James Gunn to script their films, and The Great Avengers Ragnarok ended with a direct confrontation with Thanos at all, and became a full-fledged prequel. The movie universe used to have a common storyline where each project was a mini headline, but now the writer of Avengers 5 says he has no idea what will happen in a movie that comes out 6 months before his Kang Dynasty. You know what's even worse? The fact that Ant-Man 3 Inches was the first feature film of Loveness's career, and Feige immediately gave him the job on The Avengers. No offense, but Christopher Marcus and Stephen McPhee had Civil War, The Winter Soldier, and 2 parts of The Chronicles of Narnia, to their credit, before they started scripting Infinity War. And now Kang Dynasty is being written by someone whose resume includes exactly 1 feature film, systematically failing at the box office. Quantumania is not as bad a movie as it is painted. The only bad thing is the lack of connection with other projects and a bunch of inconsistencies. After saying about the lack of a Fantastic Four in Avengers 5, there is every reason to believe that the trend will continue. Kevin Feige continues to bend his line and release unrelated films in general, and he is in no way embarrassed by the fact that we have a huge choice at the end of Phase 4. Ancient Egyptian god, a Scarlet Witch who set up a genocide, and a bunch of other sort of global events. After Jeff's words, it's clear that no one at Marvel cares about trivia, and Avengers 5 will make the same kind of isolation from the whole project, just yanking out familiar characters. Speaking of which, Loveness hasn't revealed all of the members of the Avengers in the upcoming film, but has confirmed 3 at once. Elena Belova by Florence Pugh, Black Panther by Wright, and Namora by Tenoch Huerta. Considering they will definitely be joined by some Marvel captains, Doctor Strange, Spider-Man, Shang-Chi, and Scarlet Witch, there are so many people that you can actually finalize the cast and forget all dreams of Robert Downey Jr., Chrissy Evans, and the rest of the old-timers. Only Chris Hemsworth and Jeremy Renner will make appearances from them, but otherwise the Kang Dynasty will be a performance from new faces in the universe. Only Secret Wars could go the other way. In fact, a couple of days ago, at the same time as the first confirmed details of the script, insiders also revealed rumors. If they are to be believed, Avengers 5's plot will center on Kang and Doctor Strange, just as Infinity War was once a confrontation between Tony Stark and Thanos. In general, the decision is logical. The fact that Strange will be the main Avenger was already clear, because there is no one else. But the situation has a double bottom. In fact, Kang and Mr. Doctor are twins. They have the same abilities, just Strange opens portals with magic and Kang with technology, but both can break timelines, and overall the solution doesn't look bad, rather even fresh. After all, the Multiverse of Madness was a storyline about an alternate Strange and his fight against Thanos. The only trouble is that Stephen has never been an Avenger. His fate is supernatural, and Strange's Avengers are mostly consultants, as they were in Infinity War. The next part of the rumor says that the main trick of Avengers 5 will be a misunderstanding of who is the hero and who is the villain. Kind of like Kang in the script considers himself the savior of the universe from the greatest threat in the form of Strange. The concept, as we understand it, will be taken from the TV series Loki and state that most of the collisions between universes are the fault of not only Kang, Thanos, and other villains, but also Doctor Strange, who sometimes helps his buddies. Sometimes saves pretty witches, and sometimes entertains himself as Charlize Theron. Kang's dynasty can also be stuffed with evil versions of Strange. The only problem is that you'd end up with Doctor Strange 3, but not an Avengers movie. Kang Dynasty is a comic book about exactly one version of a conqueror trying to conquer the Earth. The comic book is very epic, with entire cities being destroyed and a 100-foot-tall Captain America fighting a 200-foot-tall Kang in the end. The movie appears to fly in the other direction altogether, and if this description is to be believed, will be Strange's solo movie with massive cameos of Shang-Chi and other Black Widows. We'll move on to other facts. The next one is that the X-Men won't be in Kang Dynasty. It's also not surprising if they can't even find a place for the Fantastic Four. Still, it's interesting in the context of Deadpool and Wolverine, because these guys are also sort of X-Men, and it's unclear if Jeff Loftness was referring to the official team or all mutants in general. If the latter is true, there's no point in waiting for Logan and Ryan Reynolds in Kang Dynasty either, even though Deadpool 3 seemed to be coming out November 8th, 2024, 6 months before Avengers 5. All fresh theories are based on the fact that both this film and Fantastic Four will be prequels to Kang Dynasty. Unfortunately, the first official interview with the creator gently hints that this is not necessarily the case, and neither is the logic. Just the confirmed Black Panther and Kate non-movers that there are already so many characters in the Avengers that it's not clear where to stick them with 6 more. 5 years ago, we surely would have come up with something. But now, having survived the 4th phase, it is more likely that Deadpool 3, as well as Fantastic Four, will be on their own at most. Secret Wars, where, logically, they should return. But in general, it's best not to inflate expectations. Although, of course, there are prerequisites for that. Among those likely to appear, Jeff Lowndes mentioned Loki. Given that Kang is at the center of his series, that's understandable. Also confirmed to appear in Deadpool are Miss Minute, who for a second is the brainchild of Congo the Cartoon Network and Agent Mobius from the same series. A movie with Ryan Reynolds and Hugh Jackman will definitely touch on the Marvel cartoon universe. And it's clear where all this is coming from, that Deadpool is a prequel to the Kang Dynasty. But unfortunately, the current state of Marvel hints more at some nonsensical scene after the credits, and nothing more. The Phase 4 and Phase 5 projects are too disconnected from each other to give the writers that kind of credibility. Another interesting piece of information about Avengers 5 came from Anthony Mackie. The actor hinted very boldly that his Captain America will not be the leader of the new team. And according to Mackie, unlike Steve Rogers, his version has no superpowers, and therefore is useless in battles with guys like Thanos. This pessimistic attitude looks like a statement of fact that Falcon's role in the Kang Dynasty will not be particularly great, which opens up exactly 2 possibilities. The first is the unlikely one, meaning that in Captain America, Sam will give the mantle back to someone else, and one would really like that someone to be Steve Rogers. The second is the more likely option of handing the title of Captain America to someone more suited to modern politics. For example, Carol Danvers in Captain Marvel 2 will have 3 heroines with the same alias as well, and Brie Larson can reshoot to avoid creating confusion. And on the other hand, rid Captain America's aura of toxic white male masculinity. It came to Jonathan Majors, who after the premiere of Quantumania, dropped the bass and called Iron Man Daddy and superheroes, according to the actor. He wants to be just as Daddy. But it looks like great motivation for the villains, and for one ground for a potential clash between Kang and Tony Stark of the movie universe. Since the performer himself, as the main villain of the new phase, is equal parts Robert Downey Jr., why not collide them together somewhere in Secret Wars? Despite all the bad things said about Marvel and Kevin Feige, you can't argue with one fact. Everyone expects Tony Stark to return in the 6th Avengers. Without him, it's not just about the 2 billion grosses, but also the indicators of the Age of Ultron will not be a dream. If the Kang dynasty can be sacrificed as an intermediate Avengers movie, then in Secret Wars, everyone expects only one thing. And Feige understands this perfectly well. Kevin isn't going anywhere from the Downey Jr. call, and there's a 99% chance it will happen simply because it's business.